Sister Marvelous of Dr. Congo, the Marine Kingdom Princess. First and foremost, I want to warn you God's people, the end of the world will be terrible. Before the arrival of the Antichrist, all the doorways of the submarine kingdom will be opened, aquatic demons will rise to the surface, and the people of the world will witness demonic creatures of the deep, and the things that are under the sea and under the earth will be seen by the people on the surface. The satanic world is preparing for the end of time in a meticulous way, brothers. I saw the world of Satan preparing and anticipating the end of all things. I want to remind you that the fashions, the trends, and customs of this world come from the submarine civilization. The global pandemic hitting the world is part of the final plan of the forces of the universe. The world of Satan is in preparation for the last battle, the final war of Armageddon. The release of this pandemic is a strategic step for the final war against the kingdom of God. It is thanks to this pandemic that churches are not gathering. When God's people gather, they stop and paralyze the kingdom of Satan. The closure of churches has emboldened marine powers of the deep and the great ladies of the sea. On the other hand, this pandemic is just a foretaste, and since these churches were reopened, the fire of their lamp is not the same. Many are already affected by these government measures. To prevent God's children from gathering is a massive advantage to the marine spirit, for when God's children gather for prayer, they stop the enemy. Whenever the agents of darkness meet the devil, they wear masks that are similar to masks that everybody is wearing these days. This is a sign of honor for the evil one. Only prayer can cancel this sickness in the body of people. No medicine and no vaccine can undo it. This pandemic happened as a result of an agreement between global leaders and the evil one. The pandemic was meant to reach the whole world and countries like America that are breaking spiritual law and physical law, allowing same-sex marriage, countries that worship the serpent, and countries that worship the dragon. My dears, my story is a sad, shameful and painful thing to have wasted 9 years of my life in darkness causing misery to others. I wished I spent all these years serving God. This is a great opportunity for me to ask people that were destroyed by my activities for forgiveness. I did what I was asked by the enemy, for I had no choice. The enemies were never satisfied and grateful, but they were brutal. If I am to confess and spell all the crimes I have committed before the authorities, I would be thrown in prison. The Lord came into my life and I confessed at the right time, though I wanted to do it a long time ago. I tell people that I wronged to forgive me. I was in ignorance. Do not abandon me for my action, for the Lord has forgiven me and has placed my name back in the book of life. I pledge to follow the word and instruction of God by letter, just like I was following the instruction of Satan. If you refuse to forgive me, the Lord will take note. Right now I am rejected by my family because of these practices of witchcraft, and I am sleeping and living in the church, for I do not know where to go if the church chases me out. There are 2 parts in my testimony. In the first part, I serve the Queen of the Sea and the devil. The second part is where I came to discover the existence and the glory of God. In the first part of my report, the devil made me his slave, and every day I was to serve him. Even when attending my course in school, he would come and take my spirit in the parallel dimension, leaving my body behind. People thought I was crazy, but they could not understand that my spirit was transported to the unseen world to carry out missions of destruction. I had no choice. There is no democracy in the kingdom of Satan. I was initiated in witchcraft by my aunt. From the age of 5, I already knew that I was a witch, but I have to grow in terms of reason and intelligence. It is from the age of 12 that I began to dream suspicious dreams. I dreamt that I was attending parties and playing in the pool. I could not recognize the people that were attending these parties with me. Then I began to learn the mysteries of witchcraft and got deep into black magic. In truth, since my childhood, there was a family covenant that was claiming my soul. Actually, there was a throne in the marine civilization that was claiming my soul, and I was supposed to rule on that throne. When I was transported to the world that is underwater, I was shown a royal throne. Around this royal throne that was claiming my soul, I saw that my name was written on that stone, upon which it was written, "Marvelous is to serve the Queen of the Sea," and there was a stamp. There was no way to erase this claimancy. My destiny was written on that stone and rulership was waiting for me. Only the blood of the Lamb could erase that which was written on that stone underwater. The Bible says in Colossians 2:14, blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. When I saw this inscription, I wondered, why me? I was told this was a family covenant that dates back many centuries. This covenant was concluded by my ancestors. For centuries, my destiny was written on that stone and my destiny was supposed to be fulfilled. I was made an heir to this throne by my family covenant. I inherited a royal covenant from my ancestors in the same way that the Bible says the throne and royalty will not leave Judah. Genesis 49 hours 10 minutes. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and to him shall the gathering of the people be. When I visited the submarine world, I was shown the ancient thrones of the previous princesses and their achievements. I was told, you are supposed to do better than them. When I was crowned and enthroned on this royal throne, I was told, you will sit there from generation to generation. There was a ritual and blood covenant. My family attended this ritual underwater. They cut themselves and we made a blood covenant. I mean, our blood was mixed in a goblet and we all had to drink it. It was the first time for me to drink blood. This blood gave me power and authority over all the people in this ritual of my coronation in the submarine world. As a princess, I was covered with the skin of an animal, and I put on a bracelet and a royal ring. When I returned to the earth, these items were physical. Somehow I was not happy on my inside. A few days after my coronation, I lost my royal ring, and I began to look for it. My brother, who was not a witch, was suspicious. When I saw that he was acting under the spirit of wisdom, immediately I blinded and blurred his understanding, so that he would be thinking about something else. I was still unable to find my royal ring. In the night, camels came and we traveled to the marine world, where I explained to the hierarchy that my ring of authority was lost. I did not know that a pastor picked up the royal ring that was important for me in the spirit world. Given that this was a royal ring, I could not send my servant to look for it. I had to search for it. I began to search for my property through the mark of my hand and the smell of my hand, for this was my property. However, every time I got to the geographic location where my ring was located, I could not find it, despite my smell on it that was attracting me, and also the mark that was on it. When I went to the geographic location where my royal ring was, I saw that it was an empty compound. In truth, this empty land was the location of the church of the pastor that had picked up my ring that had become invisible. There was a church building in this compound, but whenever I got there, it was turning to an empty land. Actually, when this man of God picked up my royal ring, it lost its power, for this pastor was a man of prayer. He was able to neutralize the power of my royal ring. As a result, the ring became invisible. Finally, I got a call from the Marine Kingdom. I was told, either you find the royal ring, or you offer human sacrifice. They needed blood. I thought about my stepsister who was pregnant, since I was harassed by the marine world throughout the day. Even when I was in school, they were calling and telling me to find the ring. My stepsister was married for 1 year and was pregnant. I attacked the baby in the womb. As a result, she ended up having a miscarriage. After this human sacrifice, I was handed a bead which I was wearing on the head like a symbol to replace the royal ring, which was more powerful, for it was physical. Over time, it became a custom for me to sacrifice my stepsister's babies in the womb, and she had repeated miscarriages. I used to come to her dreams with a mask so that she would not be able to identify me. If you don't know me, I will not put on a mask to hide my face, but if you know me, I will hide my face. My stepsister used to dream of someone coming to grab a baby from her. Whenever she had these dreams, she would come to tell me. I dreamt about an unidentified person grabbing babies from me. She could not know that I was the one causing all these miscarriages. Often the people that are fighting us, they're in the family, they are around us. They would blind our eyes and hide their identity. You must know the spiritual condition of the person that you entrust your secret. My stepsister was a Sunday school leader. The Lord was showing her how she was losing her babies, but she lacked discernment and understanding, and she did not have a leader that would explain to her all these dreams. She ended up telling her dreams to her enemy. I was not a mystic but a princess. Whenever I do visitation, it was physical. However, occultists have to leave their bodies to operate. After my initiation, I was given blue eyes of domination and the men became submissive to me. I was dominating all the family. When I looked and stared people in the eyes, it is either for seduction or destruction. When you see someone staring at you deeply, you are dealing with enchantment. When you don't have discernment, you will wonder, why is this person watching me like this? One day, I stared at a brother of mine with my eyes of destruction. As a result, he was covered by a veil. I mean, people were not seeing him anymore. He was ignored in society. Wherever he went in society, he was ignored as people were not seeing him. My eyes could also blind the victim so that he will not see people and things that are important for him. He would be looking for people around him and he won't see them. Very often we were sent to destroy when we sensed a blessing and favor of God is about to manifest in the life of a man. That's when agents or Satan will be deployed to block the blessing. Actually, whenever the Lord wants to bless someone, the world of Satan would know that a blessing is coming. We will know that you are about to break through and be blessed. That's when we will act in order to stop the blessing. I remember a lady that was seeking a child in prayer and wanted God to use the child. Many Christians ask God to bless them but they have attitudes and behavior that are detrimental. They have conflict, bitterness, they dressed indecently. We were using sisters that were dressing indecently in bareback blouses and showing the lines of their underwear. This woman was about to be blessed. She was serving God and visiting orphans. She was barren, but she was supporting orphans. We must know that God is the God of covenant. The Lord protects covenants and he never opposes covenants. If you make a covenant with the Lord, he will be faithful. You are the one that will break it, not the Lord. When you make the first step, the Lord will be the one to take the next step. The lady was praying to God for a child and promising the Lord that she will consecrate the child like Hannah consecrated Samuel. When the Lord sent her the blessing, she did not know that the blessing had arrived, but the world of Satan was aware that her blessing was coming. On that day the angel of the Lord came down with the baby. I saw the tremendous angel of God standing in space. He was wearing a shining garment. I saw that he had bracelets that were shining. We were around in order to block this blessing. When the Lord sent his blessing, we got to know how to receive them. Whenever the blessing of the Lord gets closer, you will notice that everything will become hard. There will be persecution, offense, and agitation organized by the enemy to aggravate you. They would be seeking legality to steal what belongs to you. What happened on that day is that the mighty angel stood in space with babies. At that moment, I saw this lady addressing a little boy asking him something, but the boy's attention was somewhere else. As a result, I saw this lady irritated and she began to rebuke and insult the child in anger, and she smacked the child, failing to realize that her blessing was already placed before her by the radiant angel of God. It was 2 babies that the angel of the Lord brought her. She sought the face of the Lord for many years in order to get these babies, but when the blessing came, it found her in great anger, which is legality and doorway for the enemy. At that moment we grabbed the 2 babies brought by the angel of the Lord. When we took these babies, the angel of the Lord stood in space watching with frustration at what was happening. When I observed the angel of the Lord, he was tremendous and breathtaking. This angel that came with a blessing was watching us as we stole the blessing, and whenever we were watching him there was anger on his face. Angels are beings that you don't see and they are captivating. This angel was dressed in a beautiful garment. Whenever your blessing gets closer, the devil will work to get to you to open a door. We took the 2 babies and we went away. It was through the eyes that I bewitched that woman. When I was enthroned in the ritual as a princess, I was given a scepter of sapphire as a mark of authority. Many people ignore the significance of sapphire, which means authority in mermaid language and power in Greek. I was given bracelets. I want to warn you sisters that like to wear a bracelet, you must understand that there is a lot of demonic presence in it. I know what I am talking about. I used a lady thanks to bracelets. Bracelets are a satanic inspiration, like eyelash, lipstick and makeup. These items are the creation and invention of the submarine kingdom of the Queen of the Sea. One day I saw a lady with many bracelets and eyelashes. I said, This one is using our items of the Queen of the Sea. How can a human being attach herself to items of the Queen of the Sea? I saw in her heart that she wanted to use her beauty for seduction. I began to monitor her. One day she was using the toilet. In her heart, she was worried and wondering, why is it that others are getting wealthy men but I am not getting anything? The toilet is not the place to express your worries and frustration. This lady was using the toilet, but in her heart, she was talking and expressing frustration. As a result, the Lady of the Sea Micheline appeared right there in the toilet. The lady was stunned and she asked her, "Who are you?" Micheline replied, "Fear not, I saw your frustration and I came to meet your need. Tell me what you want." Then the lady said to Micheline, "I need men, but wealthy men don't come to me." The goddess Micheline said to her, "I have nothing to give you, but I have this for you. I give you this lipstick, this face powder, and this bracelet that will attract wealthy men. When these wealthy people begin to follow you, remember me, remember to go to any river and throw banana and milk, for that is my food." As a result of the appearance of the goddess of love and seduction, wealthy men began to line up for this lady. They were highly elevated men of this society. Over time, one of the bracelets of this lady was broken by accident, but she did not notice it. She saw that gradually these wealthy men that used to come to her became scarce. One day she noticed it. This lady sought to enter into contact with goddess Micheline, but the latter was not appearing. It's when the lady became desperate that the goddess Micheline appeared to her and told her, "Our contract is finished, for you have failed to obey the covenant.